Can you be too fearless on defense in today's NBA? Because Stephon Castle, the reigning 2025 Rookie of the Year, just fouled out with 3:13 left against Memphis while defending Jaren Jackson Jr.'s elite versatility. 48 hours later, he racked up his fifth foul just 98 seconds into the fourth quarter while shadowing Luka Doncic through endless Lakers actions. Most 21-year-old guards would play cautious. Castle? He doubled down on aggression. The Spurs demolished the Lakers 107-91, with Castle delivering 29 minutes of relentless point-of-attack pressure that sparked San Antonio's entire defensive identity. No hesitation, no fear, just pure championship DNA, and here's the insight everyone's missing. Castle isn't playing reckless. He's teaching the young Spurs core how elite defenses are built. Let's dive deep. What's up, Spurs fans? Welcome back to Spurs. Quick news, quick, sharp, and all about the silver and black. I'm your host, and today we're breaking down Stephon Castle's fearless defensive mentality and why his refusal to back down, even with 5 fouls, is becoming the heartbeat of this championship-caliber defense. Before we jump in, drop your city in the comments so we know where the Spurs family is tuning in from. Here's the situation. San Antonio is 26-11, sitting second in the Western Conference. 6-4 over their last 10 games while managing Victor Wembanyama's return from a calf strain, integrating rookie Dylan Harper, and unleashing De'Aaron Fox's all-star level playmaking. This isn't just winning despite challenges, it's championship culture in real time. Tuesday in Memphis showcased Castle's fearless DNA perfectly. Tasked with defending Jaren Jackson Jr., a 6'10 Defensive Player of the Year winner who can shoot, post up, and protect the rim, Castle attacked every possession like his career depended on it. 15 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals in 28 minutes. Then, with 3:13 left in a 1-point game, foul number 6, Memphis wins 106-105. But here's the crucial perspective shift. Castle didn't fail. He proved something invaluable to this young core. 2 nights later, at home against the Lakers, the assignment was just as daunting. Luka Doncic, the Slovenian superstar who joined Los Angeles in that blockbuster February 2025 trade from Dallas. Castle picked up his 4th foul with 1:46 left in the third. 5th foul at the 1:38 mark of the 4th. Most players sit in the corner, terrified. Castle kept moving, kept pressuring, kept disrupting. Spurs win 107-91 by 16 points. Here's what nobody's discussing. Castle's aggression isn't about individual defense. It's about igniting team-wide defensive intensity that transforms 48 minutes into a collective war. Do you think Castle's fearless approach is sustainable for an entire playoff run? Or will veteran refs start targeting him, drop championship defense, or needs refinement below? Let's debate this. If this breakdown is hitting different, smash that like button, helps us grow the channel. This is where Castle's genius reveals itself, and why San Antonio's defensive leap forward isn't accidental. Against Luka Doncic's Lakers, Castle posted 15 points on 6 of 10 shooting, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block, and 2 steals in 29 minutes. Doncic, he got his triple-double, 38 points, 10 boards, 10 assists, but it required 38 minutes and 26 shots to get there. He went 2 of 9 from 3 and had to grind through Castle's relentless ball pressure every single possession. That's elite defense redefined, not stopping greatness, but making greatness exhausting and inefficient. But here's the tactical revelation everyone's overlooking. Castle's post-game quote unlocked the entire defensive philosophy. My aggression on the ball kind of feeds towards the rest of the team. So whether I got 4 fouls, 3 fouls coming into halftime, I feel like my aggressiveness on defense can't really change. Read that statement again, slowly. My aggression feeds the team. This is championship-level systems thinking from a 21-year-old second-year guard. Castle understands something veteran defenders take years to grasp. Defensive intensity is contagious. The moment he backs off, everyone else relaxes. Rotations get lazy, help arrives late, closeouts lose urgency. But when Castle stays locked in, hands active, feet moving, voice echoing through possessions, it raises the defensive floor for the entire roster. Dylan Harper watches and mirrors the intensity. De'Aaron Fox sees it and amps up ball denial. Even Victor Wembanyama, who posted 16 points, 14 rebounds, 4 blocks, and 2 steals in 25 minutes against the Lakers, feeds off that perimeter pressure. Castle isn't just defending individuals. He's weaponizing his presence to elevate team-wide defensive standards every single night. And the numbers validate this brilliantly. San Antonio ranks 7th in opponent points per game at 113.3 and 6th in defensive rating at 113.1. That's legitimate championship caliber territory for a team anchored by a 21-year-old defensive ace and a 26-year-old generational rim protector. Wait until you hear how Castle's foul trouble is actually teaching the young core the difference between passive defense and championship-level aggression. If you were Mitch Johnson, would you keep Castle as the primary on-ball defender against superstars every night? Or rotate assignments strategically to manage fouls? Comment, lock him in, or rotate wisely? Curious what Spurs Nation thinks? Hit subscribe if you haven't already. We break down Spurs basketball at this elite level every single week. Behind the scenes, there's a deeper organizational philosophy at play, and it connects directly to how San Antonio builds sustainable championship contenders. Castle is in his second season, averaging 17.7 points, 5.1 rebounds, 6.9 assists, and shooting 48.2% from the field. Those are accelerated all-star trajectory numbers, but his true value transcends box scores. It's embedded in how this team competes when games tighten and pressure escalates. In Memphis, Castle made history by becoming the first player to reach 1,500 points and 500 assists in his first 105 career games since Detroit's Cade Cunningham in 2023. He's also the fastest player in Spurs franchise history to reach 1,500 points and 500 steals, a blend of offensive creation and defensive disruption that's incredibly rare in today's NBA. This combination, scoring, playmaking, elite defense, is precisely what championship teams need next to generational talents like Victor Wembanyama and dynamic facilitators like De'Aaron Fox. Mitch Johnson praised the team's ability to handle Wembanyama's minute restrictions and constant lineup adjustments without blinking. That seamless adaptability, direct credit to Castle's leadership. When your reigning Rookie of the Year refuses to back down from Jaren Jackson Jr. or Luka Doncic, even with 5 fouls, it establishes a non-negotiable standard that permeates through every rotation. But here's the front office insight that's flying completely under the radar. San Antonio's brass made a calculated decision in the 2025 draft, select Dylan Harper at number 2 overall despite already rostering Castle and Fox. Why? Because the organization values defensive versatility and championship-level competitiveness over positional redundancy or roster balance concerns. There's one strategic question, just one, that could define how Castle's role evolves as this core matures into legitimate title contention over the next 24 months. Would you rather see Castle guarding elite point guards exclusively, or switch flexibly onto wings and forwards, dropping point guards, or versatile switching? Let's settle this debate. Let's balance the hype with honest tactical evaluation. Castle's approach has 2 massive strengths: his elite physicality at the point of attack and his refusal to let foul trouble alter his defensive identity. These are franchise cornerstone traits. You can't teach fearlessness. You can't coach a player into believing their aggression fuels an entire defensive system. But there are 2 legitimate vulnerabilities that surface when fouls accumulate. First, late-game foul trouble forces Mitch Johnson into conservative rotations exactly when the Spurs need defensive stops most. Against Memphis, Castle fouled out with 3:13 remaining, the exact moment San Antonio desperately needed his pressure. Against the Lakers, his 5th foul in the 4th quarter limited Johnson's tactical flexibility. Second, elite foul manipulators like Luka Doncic can exploit defenders who play too physically. Doncic got to the free throw line 16 times against San Antonio, converting 10. That's 10 guaranteed points just from drawing contact, a math problem that becomes unsustainable in playoff series. Castle acknowledged this postgame. It's especially tough playing against a guy like Luka that can kind of manipulate that, knowing how many fouls the defender has and kind of baiting that a little bit. That's elite self-awareness from a 21-year-old. Castle knows the challenge. Now it's about refining defensive technique, staying vertical on contests, using his elite length instead of reaching with hands, and reading when to pressure aggressively versus when to contain and force help. Because if Castle can stay on the floor for 35-plus minutes in playoff games while maintaining this level of defensive intensity, the Spurs become exponentially more difficult to score against in the postseason. What do you think is Castle's biggest area for defensive improvement? Managing fouls better or adding more off-ball help defense instincts? Drop your take in the comments. Here's where this narrative gets truly fascinating. The Spurs. Upcoming schedule will test whether Castle's fearless defensive approach can sustain against elite playoff caliber offenses night after night. If San Antonio maintains their top 7 defensive rating while Castle stays out of foul trouble more consistently, it proves this isn't just passion. It's the foundation of their championship identity. Because here's what elite championship defenses have in common historically. They make scoring painful. They don't just contest shots. They make ball handlers uncomfortable from the moment they cross half court. That's precisely what Castle is building in San Antonio. And if what I've heard about potential defensive scheme adjustments in the coming weeks proves accurate, specifically around how the Spurs deploy Castle, Dylan Harper, and De'Aaron Fox in switching coverages and aggressive trapping, This defense could take another massive leap forward. Next month's games will be absolutely critical. If Castle can maintain his fearless intensity while managing foul trouble more strategically against top-tier guards and wings, the league is going to start game planning specifically to neutralize his defensive impact. And just when you think San Antonio's championship rebuild is ahead of schedule, wait until you see what happens when this defensive system fully synchronizes with a healthy, unrestricted Victor Wembanyama anchoring the paint. If Castle keeps this trajectory, Spurs won't be known but unacquired. He's not just an all-defense candidate, he's becoming the defensive heartbeat of a legitimate championship-contending team faster than anyone anticipated. If this breakdown gave you a completely new perspective on how Stephon Castle is shaping the Spurs' defensive identity and championship culture, smash that like button and share it with a Spurs fan who needs to understand just how special this young core is becoming. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next, especially if those defensive scheme adjustments I mentioned actually roll out over the next few games. Until next time, stay silver and black, stay sharp, and keep believing in this championship timeline. Peace.